How's everybody doing out there? This is Shop Culture. We're doing a quick little pop up, and we just want to, kind of talk about the previous week. We had a exciting week in Shop Culture land. We want to thank you guys. Definitely, hold on. Let me make sure everything is up there. Yeah, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and that. So one of the things was we want to talk about um, what's going on in relationships. First, I want everybody, if you're tuning in, say hello. How was your day? Beautiful day out here. We out here in Seattle, Washington. So we got some people watching from other parts of the country. So definitely want to welcome you guys. But man, this is Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful. Out on the deck, patio, smoking a cigar. This was the life. So definitely. So we had a lot of posts, and as you guys can see, we got the Shop Culture hats too. Make sure you guys caught one of those. Thank you for the support, and thank you for tuning in. Real quickly, we had some really good posts, and we want to. Oh shoot! Just got off the yacht, huh? Okay. See, that must be real quick. Wait, was that Paris? Paris, you just got off the yacht. I hear you, man. Down there in I won't say where, but man, you got to post some pictures and put those pictures up. That's what's up. We're gonna actually the doc. We're gonna have to take the yacht out. The doc got him. He got a yacht too, and so we're gonna actually have to take that out. We're gonna have to do a kind of a live show from the yacht. Show you guys how we doing up here in Seattle. Since you might have forgot since you moved down there. I won't say it, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. How's everybody doing? For real quickly. So one of the posts that we had going, and so it was like, "Won't you go live and talk about real quick?" We're gonna talk, and Tasha, and we're gonna have to get Tasha on here. We were talking about the height difference, and we're talking about women possibly, and I wanted to kind of dive into that. Women who, over the course of time, changes what they like. I think when we're younger, we have a certain standard. I think we all kind of do. Either you like them skinny, you like them thick, you like them curvy, you like them whatever. When does that start to change? At one point in your life where you have to accept certain things. When does your standards change? Does your standards go up over a period of time, or does your standards decrease over a period of time? And I think that was a really good conversation. It's a good conversation that we could have because I always hear that from women, especially women who say, "Well, I want them 6'4", 6'5". When they're young, they're like, I need a basketball player." Back in the day when I was coming up, the NBA was really big. That was during the time when everybody wanted the NBA players. When did that change? When do women start being like, wait a minute here? I ain't gonna get me an NBA player, so I better get a barber. No, I'm just playing. They got to get something not quite the NBA player, and they have to change their standards. Men, men, we're different breeds too, right? Because men, we have standards, but our standards do change. It changes if we're up in a club. I always say it, the standards change after 12:30. That was back in the day. After 12:30, everything's a go. So, men, how do our standards change? And now, especially when you get older, do you start seeing things differently? Do you start seeing, and I almost think that with Instagram, I think a lot of it has changed. I think a lot of it has changed in that we try to have this we have this mindset that you got to have an Instagram model, you got to have a woman that looks like this. Um, has Instagram and has social media kind of skewed our standards? Yes or no? Real quickly, let me get to a couple of the comments. What's up, Paris? Paris says, yes, Do it. Yes, we are. We are going to do a live show from the We got to. Um, okay, so Paris said, like when a man has children with a black woman, but then date white women. What does that mean? Standards change. Ooh. So you went in today. I wasn't going to discuss that. So okay, I think though, does that necessarily change because you start dating white women, or has it been that you find or you have more in common with that particular woman? Is it just because she's white, or is it because of the individual that you have something in common? Um, okay, in Paris, as a black woman, does that bother you? Does that bother you? When you're in the dating pool, let's just say hypothetically you are in the dating pool, do you look at what typically that person dates in the past? I think that's interesting. Because I always think that you date who you like. Um, there's some people that have preference, and is it right or wrong to have a preference? If you want to date, majority of white women, isn't that your prerogative to do? If you want to date sisters, that your prerogative to do. Paris says, does all this matter? Does it have anything to do with aging? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I think it does in a way. I really do. I really do, because I think when, and I'm just speaking obviously from the man perspective, I think as men we mature a little differently. Usually we mature a little later in life, especially when it comes to relationships, when it comes to just views in general. At least I'm hoping that most of us do. And I think from a physical, let's just talk about from a physical standpoint, I think we're a little bit more accepting of certain things. You know, um, I know from a personal experience, me in my 20s is different than me. Well, I'm not gonna tell you guys my age, but obviously me in my 40s now, it changes. Things that you might not maybe look at necessarily. Not that they're not attractive, it's just that that wasn't your preference at that time. Me, I'm a smaller dude, so I used to, I used to like smaller ladies. As I've gotten older, things change. You see beauty differently, right? I think your eyes open. I always say that it's the opening of eyes, and I tell my son that all the time. You will change your perspective. Let's get to the questions. What's up, Sam? Pastor Sam, talk to me. He's in the building. I got this cigar from my guy, and it's like a Cuban honey, and I'm telling you, it has been. I've been on these. Women, do you guys smoke cigars? We gotta get. What's up with women in Seattle not smoking these cigars? Women, you want quality time with your man? Let me give you a little sidebar, because we got on Shopkulture Live, we got 80% that are women. Let me give you some quality time advice. Start getting these. Get these for your man. Sit out in the patio with your man. That's quality time. I'm telling you guys. Thank me later. Anyway, um, Sam said, "Do people nowadays really have standards, or do most people think with their genitalia?" Um, well, Sam. Okay, how about this, Sam? Think about yourself. When when did your mindset and view change? Because I remember when we had you on, you even talked about that. Your past was your past, and then you had an awakening. So I would say that I'm just speaking again from an older perspective. Is that, excuse me? I think he does change. I know, for me, I know it's totally changed, because the things that I was doing in my 20s, in terms of relationships, in terms of with women, they've totally changed. Now I'm older. I hope more mature. Um, there's things that I think about instead of instead of just doing without thinking. I do think consequences. You think about a lot of different things. So let's go here. Paris says, I don't believe that men mature through development. Talk to me, Paris. Is that what you? So you believe that, huh? You got to give me an example of that. um, Development slash experience is what I'm hoping that you mean, because I think men mature through experience. I think experience plays a big part. I think experience, because your experience is that you start over the course of time, probably have children. Um, a lot of us have had, failed relationships from the past that has taught us. So that's experiences, and we try not to, keep doing or making the same mistakes that we did before. So, so that's why I said I think experience is so key and important. Let's see who's watching. Oh, Dan, what's up, Daniel? What's going on with you, brother? So that's what I believe that, I believe that to be so true. And then, there's you being like, I'm not gonna say your age, but do you find that younger men are more attracted to older women nowadays? I see that. I know in the barbershop, these young men be trying to go at. They want older women. And I was starting to, when I was thinking when I was younger, um, I think older or younger men are attracted to older women because I think they just know what they want. They know what they want, and they're not afraid to A, ask it, and B, go get it. And so I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing this kind of evolution, I think, a lot more nowadays. Sam said, but my taste in women is pretty much the same. I have always loved thick women with nice butts and boobs. The difference is I wouldn't mess with anyone more than 10 years younger than me. Really? Huh. So age played a big factor in your determining who you would mess with. Okay. That's a little different because usually we usually date younger women and a lot younger women, especially, when you're in your 40s, late 20s, early 30s. Maybe the cutoff is maybe what, 25. So let's say you're 45, 46. Usually, what's your cutoff date when you, as a man, when you're looking at a younger woman? I would say 26, 27. Um, my issue was when I dated younger women is that they want kids. And I'm like, dude, I'm past that stage. You know, uh, Very career oriented, but again, they wanted children. That's a no go. I'm tired. I'm thinking about retirement. They think about kids. So that was where we kind of went apart on. Um, Paris says, I don't see that men dating older. It might be your community. Um, well, I'm just going on what I see, and I'm just gonna say I'm around men constantly, barbershop, and so men I've said are attracted to older women. I'm seeing a lot more of that. That's what I'm saying. So in terms of dating, I don't know if you want to qualify as dating or sexing. Dating and sex are kind of different. So Sam says, I wouldn't want anyone who is still fertile now and don't want to spend time teaching, educating a partner. Ooh. Hmm. Ooh, gotta light that back up. So you don't want to teach. Sam doesn't want to teach. Paris says, why don't you want any more children? Most men your age are having kids. I don't know who you know at my age that are having kids or want to have kids. And good luck on that. I have a 13-year-old and that's enough. He's a handful. I'm good. So that's just me. And my friends, ain't none of them talk about having no kids. I think the only one I know is my one partner. He's just turned 41. And I think he got somebody pregnant. I hope he ain't watching. I ain't gonna say your name, brother, but whew, he got one pregnant. That COVID relationships, man. What's the percentage of COVID relationships do you guys think are going to make it. What else kind of coming out of the pandemic? I'm just saying, being able to, things are opening up. How many of those relationships that started during COVID aren't going to work right now? Let me know that. COVID, man, whew, that was a handful. Sam said, Paris, other than my wife, I would get in a relationship with an older woman who's active and fit if I was single. Well, Pastor Sam, I don't know, how old are you? So you would, I'm guessing, I think you told me late 50s, right? So you would actually date a woman in her 60s? I'm just asking. That's interesting because, like, I would, what I usually um, see is usually like men in their 60s would maybe date younger. That's what I'm saying. Maybe 20 years younger. That's common with the people, with the men that come in the shop. I have quite a few 60-year-old or close to 60. They're dating 45, 46. So they're taking my women. I'm like, oh, they're taking, you know, um, the 45 and up, and the 45 and up are attracted to that. It's 60 some years, 60 years old, especially if they're active and fit and whatnot. Parents want to know how older, and I had to think about that too because I'll be honest. I'm trying to think how much older I would go, and I don't. That's a good question. So, Sam says I am 63 and I would date a woman in her 70s. Wow. Okay, Sam. But the woman, I'm assuming you want a woman that's pretty active. Um, 70s. Who? I would have a lot of questions about that. If I'm in my 50s, would I go older? I don't know. I don't, and I'm just saying off the top, I don't know if I would because you would have to be very active, and I don't know if a woman would be as active as I I'm talking about in her 60s. Hmm, that's interesting. How about you, Paris? Hypothetically, if you were single, if you were single, how much older would you date? How much older would you go? Think about that. Answer that. Paris says, "What is active?" Barry, are you vain? No, no. I'm just saying some of the activities. So let me kind of go back and active to me, working out, gym, hiking, just a lot of physical activity. In other ways too. Well, no, I'm lying about that. I think when I get in my 60s, I think my sex drive probably go way, way down. Yeah, it'd probably be almost non-existent, honestly. So Paris 99, you're out of stock, girl. Sam said I did say fit and active, and I know some fit and active late 60 and mid 70 women. Okay, yeah, yeah, no, and I would actually say, I hate to be, but I also would say area, location, probably plays a big part in how active somebody would be, and that goes with men too, right? You know, I can't be having a big old pot belly and then trying to dictate and tell her, oh, I don't want nobody with pot belly. I mean, you can say that, but that's just being honest. And again, I think that also goes down to preference and whatnot. So that plays a part in it. So I would say location plays a big part. Um, if you're in California, you're in Arizona, you're in the Las Vegas, you're in these areas where people stay pretty active as opposed to Seattle. I think that's a big difference too. Just what I see. So Sam said, active, not a couch potato, keeps fit in body, somewhat toned, like to dance, swim, walk, and etc. So Sam said, so Sam, again, yes, we're saying we're speaking the same language. You want very, very active. That's very active. And then you're saying somewhat toned. Are you talking about, do they have to have abs? Do they have to, like, what's your definition of tone? Paris says, I don't place any limits on dating. I'm very open minded, but I know what I like. I never really been single, always in long term relationships. So okay, so and you know what? And I actually, that is cool if you're open minded. Um, and I almost think that that's the way to be when you're dating, is to be open minded, because and so you can kind of get a scope of a variety. What do I like about this? What do I like about that? What don't I like about this? Or so that is cool. And I think a lot of times people kind of get stuck in their ways, especially us as men, when we tend to get, and women too, when we get older. Well, and I think in terms of what particularly that we like is what I'm talking about. If you're talking about um, sexual stuff, any of that stuff, sometimes, well, we get pretty set in our ways, to say the least. So one of the things, though, and you know what, we didn't touch on, we actually forgot, not forgot, but we just ran out of time. If you guys get a chance, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you guys for the support on the Shop Culture Live group, really growing the movement, the community. So we so appreciate that. Um, let's see here. Hold on one second. Dating versus courting. This was a really big um, topic, and I really want to get on that because there's a lot of times, and there's a lot of people that don't know the difference. I don't. What's the definition of dating versus courting? Do people court these days? I think people majority date. Who courts? I don't know. Maybe that's an old. Is that an older term or older? I don't know. What is courting? Sam said yes. I said somewhat tone because she doesn't have to be a gym aholic. However, she can't just let her body go with gravity, bringing about saggy parts. I feel you. I feel you. And I would just say that should be, in general. And I guess that matters how big. I feel you, Sam. That would be a very big issue with me also. I don't know how some of the women are on here. What are their views on it? Could they be with a man who put on some weight? Or would you go out on a date with a man who 30, 40 pounds overweight? What's the set? What's the limit of who you will go out with in terms of weight? Or does that personality outweighs all of that? Maybe you start seeing other aspects or factors about that person besides the physical. Could you do it? That is that's a really good question because huh. And then and I always say this on the topics and the memes when you're on Shop Culture is that be honest, because a lot of us, we I always say we got our our shop culture face on, where we like, oh yeah, well, we could look at, and the personality outweighs the physical. Nah, come on now. I know some of y'all, that ain't true. Y'all need to stop. You look, I don't call out. Farrah said courting is the beginning of dating, only one person before leading into the relationship. Okay, so courting is the beginning of dating, so not the opposite. So what? That's interesting, because I would think maybe dating would lead to the courting process. You date first. Yeah, you might be dating multiple people, and then you kind of go through your interview process, and then when you find that one person, you go to that courting phase. But Paris says it's opposite, so might be. Sam says, I'm not a gymaholic. However, besides being skinny, I don't have a pot belly, and by virtue of my other career, I'm very active. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Feel you, Sam. That is active. And I'm kind of in the same, you know, place you are, Sam. But Sam, are you attracted to other skinny particular women, or have you been with skinny women? You say you like some meat, some curves. So are you saying curvy is what you like? Because I know a lot of thinner guys. They typically like you know um, I'm not gonna say heavier set, but some meat on their bone. You know, people say I don't want two sticks rubbing together. So again, it's what you like. And my thing is, do you limit yourself? Because the post was talking about being taller and having somewhat of an issue of dating somebody shorter than you. So let's say you're 5'11". Are you 6 foot woman, lady? How short would you date? How short would you go? What's the shortest you would go? You're 5'11". Would you date 5'5"? Could you do it? Would they have a great personality? Maybe 5'6", but they have a great personality. What what's the limit on that? Man, let's say you're shorter man. What's the tallest you would date? Would you date 6'1", 6'2"? Would you feel like your manhood is being exposed when you're dating a lady that's taller, quite a actually quite a bit taller than you? How would you feel about that? Sam says I have been in a relationship with thin women but prefer thick. Interesting. I've heard that. I heard that quite a bit. Um, yeah. Well, Sam, how about this? Had you dated tall? Have you dated 6'1"? Have you dated 6'2"? I went on a date at the time with a WNBA player. She was tall. I ain't gonna lie, man. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Sweetheart, great woman. Mm-mm. I have confidence too. I didn't have that, but I was like, oof. Now, granted, when you lay down, I always say that when you lay down, aren't you about the same? So I guess when you lay down, it doesn't, you know. But when you're going out in public, hmm, you feel those eyes on you? Sam, at 6'3", most women are short compared to me. I wouldn't have an issue with a taller woman. Okay. So Lisa Leslie come to you. Well, I mean, she's only 6'5". Let's say back in the day, she was woman 6'7". So that's cool. Like I said, if that would not or did not bother you, guys, let's be honest. Get that true serum. 4 inches taller, 5 inches taller. Because my second wife was 5'10". I would date a tall woman. Okay. I remember this old G used to say, I like whoever likes me. I said, I know that's right. He said, I would not have an issue. Yes, this is Paris. She says, yes, you date multiples, but when you have an interest in one person more than others, you drop the distractions, and that phase before the relationship is courting to me in my experience. Paris, you're right on. I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, in today's times, do we call that courting though? In today's time, I don't. What's the term in like modern time? I don't know if it's still called courting though. Wilbur, what's up, my guy? He says I'm 5'4". Okay, but I would date a woman that is taller than me. I wouldn't mind the height difference. But I know women prefer men that are taller and muscular. I judge by their personality and behavior. That's very mature, and that's a very good way of looking at it. How about this though, Wilbur? Do you have an issue going up and or talking to a lady that is taller? And I'm not talking about 5'7", maybe 5'11", 5'10". Would you would you man just go up to her and have a conversation because you're interested, or would that kind of play a part in you maybe, you know, what I call taking a back seat, which is nothing wrong with it? Would you be intimidated by her height? Sam says, I'm secure in my manhood, so height wouldn't bother me. We are all the same size, lay it down. That's what I said, Sam. I get you. I understand that. I was just being honest I'm just saying, when you're out though, when you're up, let's say you're at the club and you're trying to dance and she's trying to back up on you. And honestly, and I, I just have to be honest. Her butt was woo, nice butt. But I'm just saying, if I'm being honest, thinking about it now, that height played a part. I don't want to admit that it did, but looking back at it, when you're honest with yourself, I always say when you have that truth serum, yeah, it it played a part. So yeah, guys, once again, this is Shop Culture, the pop up, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna be doing this, and I want to have some guests. If you want to be a guest on the pop up, because I want to talk to everyone. My goal is to talk to every single member in the group. We're family, so I want to hit you guys. You guys hit me and be like, hey, I want to do a pop up with you. Therefore, man, we get to know. We get to know each other. You see, we all conversating on there almost every day. So, man, talk to me. Hit us up. You got me. You got the doc. You got Nick Jones. So we want to know you guys on the pop up. So definitely. And how it works is we'll send you the link. You get on, you talk to us, and we just have conversations. We talk about just things. And I always like to say, I like to keep a relationship based. Politics, we leave that to CNN, Fox, whatever you watch. You do that. We talk relationships. We talk what I call everyday life. Sam says, I ain't intimidated by physical attributes. Let me climb the mountain. I know that's right. Tell him. But again, we're talking about, Sam, you're talking about climbing the mountain in bed. And I'm talking about outside. When you're in the club, Sam, when you're dancing, when she's backing up on you, when she's all up on you, and she's 6'1", 6'2", I don't know, man. Nick says, not the amazingly tall height of 5'4". He says, I am talking shit, 5'4". But bro, let me tell you something, Wilbur. Tell him. He said, hey, Wilbur said, I go in. I ain't intimidated. And he said, I'm on Shop Culture, the live group. I'm going in. Tell him. It is all good. It is all good. Guys, once again, thank you for tapping in. This is the pop-up. And once again, remember, Wilbur taking them down. Wilbur is taking them down. Remember, every Tuesday, 8:30, you tune in. Shop Culture. Okay, I'm gonna let it go a couple more minutes. You guys are going into my smoke time. Uh, uh, Paris, real quick. Yes. How's that AMC stock hitting for everyone? I think we talked about it actually a while ago when it was $8. I think that was a hot take, a hot look. People were kind of jumping on it. V sent something on her financial page. You guys need to check me out. Hopefully you'll put a link to it. It is hitting. What are you doing, Paris? Are you option trading? What kind of trading are you doing? Talk to me real quickly. You see it underneath. Subscribe on the YouTube. Absolutely subscribe on our YouTube page. We want to get it up. We are going to have a lot of content this summer. We're going to be growing. We're coming. Our job, our goal is to, man, take over. We want to bring Seattle out. We're ready. 35 and over. And we got some young people come aboard to learn. When I was young, I was trying to hang out with the OGs because the OGs were teaching the game. You get that information from the OGs, you will become very successful in life. I'm trying to tell you guys. Woo! Paris says she's day trading. Cool. Day trading is good. Day trading is excellent. Like me and my boy were talking about option trading. So hopefully, you know what, in the future, we are going to actually talk about, I want to have my friend V on talking about the different investments because there's a lot of different investment. Nick chimed in. He said crypto for him. Yeah, crypto is a good one. Crypto is, if you like the cryptocurrency is all there for you. But the most important thing is that you guys are investing in, I would say, either real estate, stocks, whatever the case, invest in yourself, your business, invest. Don't just sit on money and having one stream of income. Multiple streams of income is the only way you're going to be wealthy. I'm telling. And like I said, young people, listen to some of these OGs. Paris, V, Nick, giving you guys the game. Well, Nick thinks he's young. He'll let me stop. But so important. Start investing though. And Wilbur, you have a long one, man. I'm gonna let y'all read that one up there. That's too long for me to read, bro. Once again, subscribe, like, share. Shopkulture, we're coming. Man, thanks you guys for tuning in. Share, like our YouTube page. We out.